Welcome to my weekly Fabricate Friday video on my YouTube channel and blog. I'm Suzanne, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada. Today's video is all about paper crafting. I'm here to share how easy it is to make a 3D project. I also sell the products I feature in this video. I hope you enjoy my free video tutorial, and I would love to see you shop with me. Hello friends, it's Suzanne here. You can't see what I'm seeing, and I'm trying to figure out how to film this because I can't show you exactly. So if you noticed that I don't know what page it's on, but in the holiday catalog, they have an example similar to this. And being a demonstrator, we get this sheet basically of all the projects that are in the catalog. So if we wanted to duplicate them, we can. So let me see if I can find the dashing deer, I think it's called, and it's just right up here. It is. So obviously this is from the dollar store, so it doesn't light up very well at all. Look at, they've got like a burning fire in here. And I do not. Anyway, so this is the project that I initially started with. And then I did notice that what they had said were these bows and stuff were from owl Finlet dies, and then the deers here were cut out of corrugated galvanized cardstock and corrugated embossing folder, that sort of thing. So basically what I did was I made something similar, and of course I always put my spin on it, and I love it. So this is from the embellishments, the farmhouse embellishments here. Let me turn on some lights. There we go. And so I just popped out the joy, and I didn't forget the little dot either for the J. This idea I got from this card here, where it's white behind the foil. And in this example, I use glue, and that was a mistake because when you use wet glue, I don't know if you can see this, now my little deer is marred. And I'm gonna have to go in and rub her down. And I figured that it's a girl because she has nice hair. I suppose it could be a boy too, but anyway, so that drives me nuts. So what I did was I took champagne foil, and I want to show you this because whenever I cut out foil or anything like that, I have a really hard time with it. Because of it doesn't cut through all the time, and then if I wanted to put my Sizzix adhesive sheets on the back of foil, I find that I struggle really hard with it because there's so much for that die to cut through. So here's a little tip for you before we even get started. I'm just taking a pokey thing, whatever you got, and I'm pulling in on one of the corners. And if I can give you a close-up of this, I will. So you can see right here, I'm actually lifting up half of the paper. Now, there's a little plastic coating, or in this case, you can see it's a plastic coating. Now, if you can just get the plastic coating, that's okay. But normally I get this part where I'm pulling off part of the paper, and that's okay too, because that just makes it even more thin. So I've taken off this plastic, and this is the culprit. This is why I have such a hard time. So the paper is still thick. It's still thick. So then I can go ahead and put my adhesive sheet on it, and to do that you just pull up your little adhesive where it says peel here, and then you stick your paper, your foil, whatever on here, just like that. And then you cut away the excess and you save that. because you never know, because most of us are hoarders and we're like, well, I spent X amount of money on this, so I have to keep it. Even this little piece I have to keep. I'm sure a lot of you can relate. Anyway, so here you go. I've made a sticker. So what happens in this case when I go to run it through the Big Shot? I am going to be able to, I'm making stickers out of all of my die cuts. So little lesson there. But anyway, so that all of this goes on like a dream. Okay? So now I'm gonna share how I made this with you. And hopefully you'll be able to make one for, I'm thinking this would be awesome. I'm hosting Christmas Eve dinner this year with my family. So I'm thinking this would be lovely to sit and have, you know, the candles. I'm gonna get more expensive ones, obviously. Okay, moving on. All right, so we need 2 pieces of, this is gray granite cardstock. It is sized at 7 by 8 inches. We're going to score at 3 3/4 and 7 1/2 on both. So 3 3/4 and 7 1/2. Okay, so I have my ruler, I have my pencil, I have an eraser in case I make a mistake. Gonna line up my paper, and it doesn't matter because we've got to do this. It doesn't matter where you're lining it up. Just make sure it's nice and straight. And then I'm gonna take my ruler and measure. First of all, I'm gonna measure somewhere 3/4 of an inch here. Then I'm going to take my T-square ruler and make a mark here. And then I'm going to do the same for, this is going to be 3/4 of an inch from the score line, and this is going to be 3/4 of an inch. And this is going to be 3/4 of an inch from the score line. And then this is going to be 3/4 of an inch. So basically you're wanting to draw a rectangle inside each of the squares, or sorry, rectangles, and you want them to be 3/4 of an inch. And it's just easier to do it. I mean, you could do it without doing a pencil line. I'm sure that many of you are capable of doing something like that. Me, I find that taking the time to measure just a little bit will make it easier when I go to cut with my trimmer. And then I'll erase it. So it's not a big deal. So what if there's a little bit of pencil on my cardstock? If it's light, you should be fine, right? Okay. So just like that. And now I'm going to take my trimmer out. You have to do that on both. FYI. And so now all I have to do is match up my little line here with the inside of my trimmer. Like I said, a lot of people are competent and will be able to go, okay, I'm going to cut up 3/4 of an inch, cut down here. You know what? This is by far the simplest because now I don't have to measure anything. I just stop where my pencil line was and I'm not thinking, right? All right. So I'm going to attempt to remove my little rectangles so that I can use them on a card another time. Now, these little scissors are super sharp, so if I didn't cut correctly, I'm just going to snip in there. You won't notice a difference. And I did make a foo-foo on this one, so it wasn't too bad though. I just cut slightly. There was a premature cut there. There we go. All fixable. All right. Now, it is nice to make sure that all the pencil lines are erased if you need them. Some people don't need them. Some people are awesome. But I am not. Okay, so I'm just going to fold, and let's burnish right now because it's far easier, trust me. Okay, perfect. Look at that. You couldn't have asked for a better matchup. Now, here I got my fast fuse, and I know I can use the rest of it because I have 20 refills coming. Okay, so I'm just going to take one of these and place that down on my work surface. I'm going to try to make sure that it's lined up evenly. Then I'm going to come in with my other, make sure that's lined up evenly. There we go. Okay, so now you have one long piece. And then I have some vellum. This is about 2 3/4 by 6. And because it is vellum, I am going to use glue. So, and the reason being is because I can draw a nice thin line right around this beautiful little opening that I just made, and I know my vellum is going to stick very well to my glue, my Tombow glue. And it's going to hold fast. So even if there is a little bit of heat that, say you use a real candle, I wouldn't advise it, but in case you choose to, this is not going to, the vellum isn't going to peel away. All right, so all we have to do now is close this. I'm going to put fast fuse on that side, and then I'm just going to fold this guy over. So this is going to be nice and square if you did it right. And you should be able to fold it whichever way you want, and it's going to be nice and square. Ta-da! So that was super easy to put together. Now We just got to decorate it. So I pre-did this because, you know, I'm like that, organized and all that. And also because there was a lot of die cutting and I'm pretty sure you would have been bored watching me. So now, like I said, I'm just making stickers of my little deer. So even the antlers at this point get nicely pasted down. So I have cut out 2 little deer. I'm sure you can do more if you wanted. Like the example in the catalog has 2 on the same side. I thought that was just superfluous. That was just nuts, crazy. So again, these were cut out of champagne foil. I thought it looked really good with your gray granite, and that is the new gray. See how pretty the champagne looks on the gray granite? It's quite lovely. And it looks to me that I did not die cut enough. I obviously am tired. Not counting correctly. But before I take photos, I will die cut some more. And I will have a online card class using the deer. The dashing deer, I'll show you the bundle. It's the Clearmount dashing deer, as well as the detailed deer thinlits. All right, so I took white, Whisper White, and put it behind the champagne foil. I guess this would be the flower framelit. So I gave her a necklace. And then on the opposite side, I put a flower on the vellum corner right there, and then another flower on the top, just to add a little something something to the boring sides. And like I said, I forgot. So again, flower here and flower there. And then, oh, 2 flowers for this girl. Oh my gosh, so pretty. I can really see how this would work so very nicely at the dinner table. I really wish that this wasn't so cheap. My little pathetic light. Anyway, there's my Friday share with you. Thank you so much for watching. Keep an eye out for this online class. Like I said, maybe in a month or so. And hope you have a lovely weekend. Bye.
Hey, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. On screen are 2 more videos for inspiration. Click on the maple leaf for my blog, or click on me to subscribe to my channel. Thanks again for watching.